Hello everyone, how are you? Today we discussing about the chapter 1153. You know why we discussing this important chapter in this One Piece? Because it's due to for the reason for everything. Once upon a time, the vast and unpredictable chaos of the New World, there's the giant prince named Harold. Not just any giant though. This guy? Yeah, you're right. He's the crew of the swinging accent legend like the Dory Broggy, causing the all kinds of the world and with the trouble. With this insane strength, noble blood and colossal ego, he thought the world was his playground. Because why we speak in this chapter, it's very important chapter, you know? It is the Loki's origin and why he killed the father and the Butterly in this doing a lot of things in the continue for this thing. Chapter panel starts in Dory and Broggy starts for the shared and wild childhood with Harold and the Prince of the Elbaf. They were the prince in the once and born into the bloodline of the ancient giant and the prince possessed in the colossal body and the monstrous strength. And all his strength is the high status for the he grew into the arrogant and the utterly and the rugged that no one could reign. This is the important things you know first. And during the Joy Boy for Ancient Artifact, we already see a lot of things about the ancient giants. They were the more biggest than any other giants. And also two horns in the inside of their head. They are throwing anything they're possible to there. If you deeply see for this picture of panel, this is the most important things. He know he's the better than anyone. And said, oh, what a bore of the everyone outside the elf. It's pathetically weak and puny. Ain't that right, guys? Exactly, sir. And it's just say as there. You know, because like King of Harald are the more bigger than the giants, but he's the more disgusting than any other giants. I don't know, there's this special sale about his crewmates or something like he might be in the Kaisako. Next chapter is the very important. It's shown for the Loki's mother. Who was the Loki's mother in like? And this was the story about the king of the Bound and the New World. And everyone watching him and come on like circus monster like we see for the lot of circus animal and beer and a lot of things there, but there's the mother of the Loki is looking like the beer of the circus. Then some narrator or something like circus guy say, get away from the cage, it is dangerous. Yeah, everyone is dangerous for about him like because of he's the biggest in one of all. I don't know. I don't hear any story about the back of this story, but King Harold the must be angry but and someone who came from the Elbaf or the already in the circus monster is shown. Then he for the ruin for this circus and this thieving, stealing and he's in the future wife. This is the very interesting character. Then he laughed like yeah and they were the fools of the mock elf. How they made the sure about them and who are you in the elf's sorry for that. Mother of the Loki asked who are you about him. Then he introduced himself sort of very kindly. No need to thank me. I'm the king of the elf. I couldn't just sit back a while. You stay slighted in my homeland, he said. Then suddenly said for the one broke woman, I'm your majesty, King Harald, he said. It's a very interesting way to he explaining himself. Oh, I saw one thing in here. He's the horn of that woman horn is the fake horn because of circus made him for the looks like more dangerous for an adding in the extra way. But it's the not the big horn. Then his crewmates are the very amazed for this moment and they all say, no way! I don't know about the backstory of woman, that woman. She's like very upset about one thing and she say like, you need to apologize. A lot of the people are hurt. Turn the ship around. It's interesting are like in the more like Harald, not like more Harald, he's the more kind woman in here. I see there's the one story flashback in here. Like this woman said like very angry for this reason for that is the because she's very broke and like circuser gave him the work and after finding him in the brink of the date for give for the food and a lot of works for them, but King Harold then suddenly for keeping this woman for the unreasonable and she's complaining a lot of things about him. Don't kid yourself into thinking you're the better than humans. The humans are your You arrogant and disgrace, and this kind of creeps is why all of us other giants are always lumped into with elf of savage. Little, what the hell is to that supposed to mean? And King Carl said, you just happen to born the big and your strength is the quirk of the fate, and he said. Actually, this story is not bad as any other One Piece story, and that woman story is very nice actually. The circus guys are helping him and feeding him, giving the work, and a lot of things are helpful for him. But King Carl don't know for thieving for this woman the unreasonable. This is the most questionable things. Actually, this was the I think most of the important story of the giant pirates backstory. Maybe origin of the backstory of the who was the captain in the first of the giant pirates was the King Carl, I guess. As you see, the followers of this King Carl are very dumb and they are like any word he said and doing and no reason for this fun. It's very funny skin and this woman in asked about the King Carl and the excuse him for what he did and actually this timeline of the giant pirates are very good guys and they're helping the citizens of this island and lot of things they help out and maybe don't know for one thing I think the One Piece started in the one thing in the very important and giants race of peoples are the very frightful. I don't know, they are the very frightful for these things. Maybe they are the most powerful race of the world. This is the maybe most reasonable things. But if you see for the one things in here, King Harold is very happy for the helping humans. This is the backstory of Harold. This is important. Ah, I see. What is the mother's and the backstory of Loki's mother is like she was born in the island of the Saonoi island in the South Pole. She's like Saul and then not in the born in the Elf of Giant. This woman actually changed for the King Harold perspective of the world and this perspective at King Harold is very prideful and the conquering world and simply like the more we extreme the human, we must be punish them in. But day by day they are changing and looking others are the more like lowers I think. Then I think there are really lot of islands and lot of inhabitants of their sea for these islands. I think there are the Skyfair islands in there and the sea for these peoples are looking in the more good perspective of the giant race of people are explaining and introducing them in the good for the world. Then manga channel for change it for the another important things and Elf of 105 years ago. They shown for the Elf of 105 years ago. I think there's the born age of the Loki. Up until now, we have committed countless sins. I think they are not good, I think. But they do a lot of things and it is the time we atone them for them. What's wrong with you, Harold? And she asked and a lot of people asked as the king and intend to frequently travel overseas, I hope to extend hand in reconciliation our the neighbors and learn from their cultures. Our land can become more prosperous if we learn from the world and he said it's the important because of the world he introduced the Elf of Islander the more good and better way. And Dory and Broggy and others will never stop running the world. After he maybe Dory Broggy inspiration of the King Harold himself. There are a lot of people very happy for that. That is like he's the most inspirational man of the Elbaf. Like Elon Musk or Steve Jobs in similar perspective in this Elbaf Island. I think he's now. Okay, let's hear this. King Harold and their people are the ideally fighting each other. And the people said, we can still hold on our ways, right? So then people of Elbaf said, they have never failed to treat humans fairly and honorably. But King Harold, we may have reconsidered some tradition if other countries feel threatened. On that panel are the fighting and the citizen perspective and King Harold new perspective are the fighting each other. After that, a next chapter panel starting. Then those panel then everybody very happy and blessed and Harold is the Elbaf I guess and Bojajajas and there's a Garol how they say like Bojajaja seems their Timolantans journey ahead. What the change they say. But There is the things that are the different in here. And King Harald are the very different perspective now, and he should exchange with diplomats and other nations are exchanging in the trading and a lot of things and fancy and lot of things in the hostage and other things and just a lot of things are changing. And after this final, lot of things change. Like last final we said in 100 more years, but there is now 81 years. Eastern fishing village they are starting. Then King Harald's first baby was the Hajrudin. Hajrudin, he was the first baby. But everybody said in their citizens said, unfortunately we can recognize your marriage. Only pure blooded can permit it within the royal family. Hajrudin is the not royal family bloodline giant. He was born with the dead woman and who escaped from the island. It is very controversial. I guess and Hajrudin and Loki are the same mother, I guess. But no, it is changing. This is like very changing the perspective. Then there's the Lady Astrid carries the noble blood of the giant. Lady Astrid of the one of the biggest giant families, daughter of the one of the biggest giant families. Then Harald, meet your future bride, and everybody said. I guess and for the noble bloodline has the no other choice for marrying for the noble people because they carrying for the noble bloodline, I guess. And she was like very good looks person, I guess. And everybody said, I was born in alcohol village in north. I am the student of the earth wind arts. She was the truly fit to become the queen of the Elbaf. Then she was the alcohol village for the daughter from the prominent background. The another things is leaking in here. Maybe this horse, the Sora, the horse of the good fortune. Maybe in our home language, it is maybe we might be say Ashura. It's fine still, you're worthy of your majesty. Consider your gift from my family. It sure bring you good fortune. It's the huge and why does it the 8 legs? Maybe it's a very interesting question. There is the 8-leg horse in here. One of the interesting thing in here and not Harald and asking himself to marry and that woman for the asking himself for marry for this King Harald. That is the interesting. I don't know actually. For the more traditional way for Elbaf is the marriage, maybe more different for our perspective. On here for the short introduction, he said like he traveled in a lot of countries. I saw for the Fishman Island, and I even saw for the mermaids and fishmans, a lot of things I saw in here. They're even called their prince for born by the name of the Neptune. I think he was the first pirate of the world. Then finally, noble bloodline came from the world, and that woman has the son, his name is Loki. We already know a lot of things. 63 years ago, accused of the Elbaf Castle, while the Harald was overseas, not in Harald in the time. Then everybody looks, oh, it's healthy boy. I spoke with the king about it. Then everybody amazing one thing about this child. It's very interesting. At the first moment of the Loki born, his mother disgusted about him. Yeah, it's horrid, your highness, it's freaking me out. What is that? This guy can't be possibly mine. Then his servant say, hey, your highness, please calm down. Because of his eyes are different for any other Elbaf child. He's the cursed child when he was born. That is the dangerous moment of the first time ever this born, like he was lucky felt about the danger about himself. Then his mother said, where are you going? I'm returning to my village. I never want to give birth again, she said. Due to for his eyes of Loki, he is from the underworld or the realm of death he came from, and this is the cursed because of his eyes. And it is explained. There is the foretold about the King Harald, and this foretold said King Harald one day slain his own son. And everybody scared him of the Loki people. Meanwhile, for the born of this son are the curse of the Elbaf. On this time, and King Harald doing for the diplomacy for the other countries, but world government somewhat reason blocked by the government thing, and he's suffering for the why can't be countries just be free, and it's very difficult for the choice for him. On the other side, for the Hajrudin mother said, oh, he's your little brother, don't you want to see the little guy? If he's not your kid, mom, there's no way I can call him by little brother, Hayruddin said. Oh, sweetie, you are cute even you said such apple things, and Hayruddin never accepted for the Loki himself for his brother. And this was the curse, and everybody not accepting him, and the last chapter of that, then thrown away from the hill of nearby to his castle, I think. And Queen thrown away his own son for the no reason for this curse, and Loki and there, and Loki is crying and very sad moment for accepting this chapter ending. I don't know what I have to say, but it is very important things about Loki and other things. But we should accept more in Loki in the previous and after chapters, and the more deeper we understand Loki for thing. You know, it's very sad story, very sad story. Whatever, this is my first video, you know, and don't throw away like Loki me, and you should subscribe my channel, and I will be come back after some videos and some several videos that, and I will wait you, and goodbye and have a nice day. We will meet you someday. Goodbye.